Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0 to 18 here, and welcome back to the channel. Zoroark is one of my favorite Pokemon because of its deceptive abilities, and in this game, it's going to be my main powerhouse. With a base stat total of 510 and a speed stat of 105, it won't have to worry about anything outspeeding, making it quite easy for me to dominate the battlefield. Its HP and defense stats are not that good, so Zoroark is basically a glass cannon. One of the challenges I'll face in this solo run is the lack of move variety by level up. Zoroark learns mostly dark type moves, but luckily we get some good stat boosting moves like Agility, Hone Claws, and Nasty Plot. I'm especially looking forward to using Nasty Plot since it raises my special attack by 2 stages, making me even more powerful in battle. Additionally, through TMs, Zoroark can learn some incredible moves like Dig, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Aerial Ace, Focus Blast, Shadow Claw, and Grass Knot. With these moves, I'll be able to take on most Pokemon for super effective damage. However, this isn't any ordinary Pokemon White 2 solo run. If you watched the Charizard livestream, you'll know why this video has been delayed. All of the Pokemon White 2 runs will be done in challenge mode. All the trainer enemy Pokemon are higher leveled, and the gym leaders Elite Four and Champion have much harder teams. Can't wait to see how this goes. Let's get into it. Time starts upon loading the save file with my perfect Zoroark. Plus, unlike most of the DS games we've done so far, I can actually show off my first rival battle with Hugh. No intro needed here, but as you can see, since I'm in challenge mode, the Tepig is level 6. But there is a glitch with challenge mode, and while the level is increased by 1, the stats are not. The Tepig has the stats of a level 5 Tepig, but it still outputs the damage of a level 6, since it does take level into the damage calculation. But challenge mode or not, this fight is easy. While I'm going through the tutorial, let's discuss Zoroark. We start off with the moves Scratch, Leer, Pursuit, and Hone Claws. Pursuit is our most powerful move right now, which is a 40 base power dark type move, and with Stab, the same type attack bonus, it's an effective power of 60. Hone Claws will raise my attack and accuracy by 1 stage, which will help with physical moves, which Pursuit and Scratch are. Also, I went with a male Zoroark, which was a mistake. I meant to do female, but oh well. The ability Illusion, which disguises Zoroark as the last member of my party. In most battles this is useless, but in some battles it'll help with tricking the AI. That's everything, so let's get back to the run. On Route 19, I catch a Purloin for Cut later, and then I talk to Alder, and he tells me to deliver the town map to my rival Hugh first. So before I train with Alder, I defeat the trainers on the way to Flockacy Ranch and take on Hugh yet again. This fight is honestly just a waste of time. Tepig doesn't even have Ember yet, but it is still good experience, so I won't complain. After the fight, the ranch owners tell us that their Herdier is missing, so we go around the ranch looking for it until we find a Team Plasma Grunt keeping it hostage. Before he runs off though, he throws the first ever TM we get, Frustration, which is the reverse of Return. Does more damage the lower our friendship is. Since we get it so early, Frustration will be more powerful than Scratch, so I teach it to Zoroark, spend forever hunting down a Psyduck, and then I train with Alder for a bit, and then Mr. Metal gives me a metal box to collect all the medals, which we'll definitely be doing later. Not. With all that stuff done, the gym in Espirita City opens up, so I defeat the gym trainers and take out the new gym leader, Charon. In challenge mode, all gym leaders get held items and extra Pokemon. First up is Patrat, which goes down in 2 frustrations after wasting a turn with Workup. Next up is Lillipup. I bring it down to red health, it uses its Oran Berry, and I take it out on the next turn. The final Pokemon is Pidove, which actually does deliver an attack and ruins my disguise, so I must get rid of all the witnesses and leave with the basic badge in hand. Next up, I go back to Route 20, defeat the trainers there. Charon gives me Pecha Berries, which we'll be using later when we face Getsis. I catch a P-Dove and I enter Verbank City. Roxy and her father have a dispute about dreams and ambitions, such as you subscribing to the channel, and before I face Roxy, I go in the back area of the Verbank complex to get the Silk Scarf, an item to boost normal moves by 20%. White 2, compared to black version, is more generous with the held items to help you out in these runs, so I'll give it that for sure. But that's enough talking game differences. Let's enter the gym, take out the drummer and the backup guitarist, and take on the lead singer of Coughing and the Toxics, Roxy. Her first Pokemon is Coughing. I start off using Feint Attack, a 60 base power dark type move that never misses. And since it is my most powerful move right now, this is what I rely on to take out Coughing and Grimer. Although the Grimer gets my health very low, and despite my best efforts, her Whirlipede takes me out for my first reset. On attempt number 2, I make it back to Whirlipede with some decent health left, and I survive the fight on 9 HP and I obtain the Toxic Badge. While I want to do more gym battles, every playthrough you have to get a tour of Pokestar Studios and then make your own movie with Riolu and Bryson as Bryson Man. I really wish you can skip this, but you can't, so fast forwarding ahead, I help Hugh and Roxy fight off Team Plasma, and after chasing a grunt off of Route 20, we are finally able to set sail to Castelia City. The next 4 gyms are the same leaders in the same order as Black and White 1. So before we fight Berg, we need to do some chores. I get the free bike from the Harlequin, talk to his associates in the Battle Company, the Analytics Headquarters, and the Metal Office to get a free rare candy. Get the charcoal since I definitely got Tepig as my starter, and we have to go into the Castelia sewers with Hugh to find Team Plasma. But before we fight them, I get a very helpful item in here, the Leftovers, which will heal a 16th of my HP every turn. This is probably the earliest in any Pokemon game you can get this item, so I'll gladly take it. With the Leftovers in my bag for later, Hugh and I defeat Team Plasma, chat with Berg and then a mysterious man, and now I can enter the Castelia City Gym, which definitely got a makeover since the previous game. I then get to the top floor and take on Berg, the bug-type gym leader. Berg is actually tougher in this game than in Black, and that's not because it's challenge mode. His Dwebble, instead of battle armor, has sturdy, so it cannot go down in one hit. But luckily I'm not weak to rock moves, but I am weak to bug moves. But all of Berg's Pokemon not only have Struggle Bug, but we're also not using special attack, so Struggle Bug lowering my special attack stat does not threaten me at all, and we win on the very first attempt. Albeit with some good sleep luck with waking up very quickly due to Grass Whistle. With 3 badges obtained in under an hour, which is actually quite nice for this game, I heal at the center, go to Route 4 where the mysterious man removes the crystal blocking the path, and he challenges me to a battle. He has a Magnemite and a Clink. This guy named Colress is honestly the most trolly trainer in the entire game. His Magnemite has Sturdy and Thunder Wave, so most of the time you will be paralyzed for the whole fight, and with the wrong luck, you can get reset after reset here. Luckily here though, my luck was just enough to get past the fight with 13 HP left, and after we win, Colress gives us a protein which I'll definitely use. Nice. That's not the only thing we'll be getting here. In this house right here, right after I reset on this trainer due to a burn and I had to fight Colress again, I can talk to this guy for citrus berries, which will help out if I need them, and then very close to the main path is the TM for Dig, which is an 80 base power ground type move, and this will help us out a lot for Elisa. And even if Zoroark can't learn Dig, which it can, I can always just teach it to Psyduck for a free escape rope. Hold on folks, we still have items to get. I know, this game has a lot of them, just bear with me. In the Desert Resort, we get 2 blue shards and the soft sand. Well, I tried to get the second blue shard, but this NPC ended up sitting on it when she battled me, so I had to leave the area and come back so I can get it. We need these blue shards for a move tutor later. I need the move Hyper Voice, which is a 90 base power normal type special move, but it costs 6 blue shards, so this will be a while. But let's not worry about that for now, as we have arrived in Nimbasa City. Before entering the gym, I go to Route 16 and enter the Lost Lorn Forest. There is a Pokemon Ranger here named Forest, who will give you a Cherry Berry upon defeating him. This won't be used for Elisa, but for the final Colress battle, all thanks to his starting Magnemite with Thunder Wave, soon to be Magneton. With everything in hand, I enter the Nimbasa City gym, which looks like the old gym, until I realize that it is the old gym, and that the new gym is just past the Ferris wheel. I didn't do this on accident. You have to solve the old gym puzzle first before entering the new one, which is basically just a long walkway from the Miss American pageant. At the very end is Elisa, so let's get this show on the road. Her first Pokemon is Emolga. On the first turn, I set up a Hone Claws while Emolga uses Volt Switch and out comes Joltik. One Night Slash is enough for the knockout. Next up is Flaffy. I take it out with Night Slash. I do not get paralyzed with Static luckily. Same thing with Emolga since it also has Static. And on the final Zebstrika, it outspeeds me and decides to use Pursuit for some reason. I don't know why, but that gives me enough time for my first try sweep with Elisa. She can usually be a lot more difficult, so this was nice to see. I heal at the center, buy some super repels, and then before I can leave Nimbasa City, I help Hugh chase off Team Plasma, and he reveals that he has been hunting down his sister's Purloin from when she was a very young girl, and it was stolen by Team Plasma. That is just such a sad story, and that's why Hugh is my favorite rival in the whole series. If you want to know why more specifically, watch my 1000 sub special with Electivire and Pokemon Platinum. I answer the question of who is my favorite rival. After Bianca introduces me to hidden grottos, which I will basically never use, I head to the Driftveil Bridge, but before I can cross, I have to defeat Charles in a triple battle. I use my HM users as distractions while Zoroark delivers the knockout to Sigilyph, Archon, and Turtoga. In Blacktooth, this fight is a rotation battle, which I think in my opinion is worse since you can't use your HM users as distractions, since rotation battles are technically 1v1s, but you can switch and attack in the same turn. Now we are in Driftveil City. We see a clash of the old and the new Team Plasma take on Rood of the former 7 Sages, and then he tells us a story about the new Team Plasma. But Hugh is not taking it from them since his Purloin was technically stolen by them. But let's not worry about that right now. I enter the Driftveil Market, get the free Expert Belt to boost super effective moves by 20%, buy a dozen Moo Moo Milks, and then I take on the Driftveil Gym Leader, Clay. He starts off with Krokorok. I set up with Hone Claws, and the Krokorok uses Bulldoze to lower my speed by 1 stage. But that won't matter too much as Zoroark is super fast. On turn 2, however, I use Return, but I forget that Krokorok can outspeed me on -1 speed, and it uses Sandstorm. His next Pokemon is Onix. I take it out with 2 Night Slashes, and all it gets on me is a very weak Rock Slide. His following Pokemon are Sandslash and Excadrill, but Sandslash crits me with a Bulldoze, so there goes that attempt. On the second try, his Onix takes me out with Explosion, which, yes, it actually has Explosion. I had to fight the remainder of the gym trainers first before taking on Clay again. On my third try against him, I take out the Onix with Dig, and then with 86 HP left for Sandslash, I use Night Slash, it gets a critical hit and goes down in 1 shot. And then his final Pokemon is Excadrill, which I use Dig on. Plus in this game, Bulldoze can't hit Pokemon underground, so I go damage free, but it lives on red health and it hits me with Bulldoze, so now I can't outspeed it anymore. Plus even worse is the fact that Krokorok used Torment on me, so I can't use Dig twice in a row, so I have to use Night Slash and it lives. And then Excadrill gets a Hyper Potion, I use Dig again, Excadrill survives, and then I go for Night Slash. Excadrill misses a Metal Claw, and I win the fight. Jeez, that fight could have gone so bad. With that traumatic experience behind us, let's go to the Pokemon World Tournament. We have to participate in the Driftveil tournament where we fight Hugh, Charon, and Colress. These fights aren't interesting and they're all at level 25, while my Pokemon are their normal levels. I think they did this to reduce the chances of you losing, since you do have to win this tournament to proceed with the game. After I win the tournament, we find the Team Plasma Frygate at the dock, take on many grunts, and then the Shadow Triad kicks us off the ship. Before I leave the area though, I enter the Relic Passage to get the blue shard in here, but I ended up finding one in a dirt cloud, so I guess I'll just take this one then, so I left. I enter Route 6, get Surf from Charon, meet Cobalion, and then enter the Chargestone Cave. There are actually no mandatory trainers in here, which is a nice break from Black version, where you have to fight so many Team Plasma grunts. I do get the Nugget and Big Nugget from the Nugget Bro and the Nugget Boy, but I probably shouldn't have, since you can't sell big nuggets at the mart. You can only sell them to the ore collector in Icarus City, so I'll just avoid this next time. I arrive at Miss Stralton's city, talk to Juniper and Skyla, go to the Celestial Tower, get the Lucky Egg, equip the Zoroark, defeat all the trainers in here for the experience since I need to be around level 45 for Skyla. After the training, I go face Skyla a couple of times, but I won't show those since the reason I failed the fights was that I forgot to get the black glasses to boost my dark moves by 20%. I fly to Castelia City, enter the sewers, and enter the back street from the sewers. I defeat a street gang, and I get the black glasses. You can only get this item in the spring or the summer, so I have to make sure to play a game in the summer month, which I did. With the black glasses, let's actually now show the Skyla fight. Her first Pokemon is Swoobat. I set up Hone Claws and it just spams Psychic on me. See, this is the first instance where Illusion actually helps me out. So now with my attack stats set up nicely, I knock out the Swoobat in one hit, the Skarmory in 2, and the rest of her team in 1 hit, and I get the Jet Badge with a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 1 second. We've got a long way to go to get to the 7th gym in Opelucid City, and we all go on the plane to Letimus Town since Twist Mountain is closed off. This town is where the move tutor is for blue shards, but we don't have the 6 blue shards yet, so we'll be back. Outside of Reversal Mountain, I enter the Strange House, which is a haunted house if you can't tell, and I get the rare candy here, since like in Black, with the new experience formula, the rare candies are more important than ever. I then enter Reversal Mountain and I explore with Bianca. I pick up some items along the way, and then had a very close call with death thanks to someone's Darmanitan using Flare Blitz. Jeez, that would have been real bad. I don't get any other close calls, so I get out of Reversal Mountain and enter Undella Town, where I take on Hugh. Cue the intro. He leads off with Unpheasant. I use Hone Claws while it stores up energy for Razor Wind, which is just a god-awful move. I gave up the opportunity to learn Punishment, and then I take out his Emboar with Dig, and then the Simipour with the Power of Friendship. Thanks to the power of video editing, I can quickly show you all the facts that I went through Route 13, entered Lacanosa Town, listened to a scary story about Kyurem, helped Hugh chase off Team Plasma, enter Route 12, get the hidden rare candy, pass the village bridge, get another blue shard, and go through Route 11 while ignoring the legendary Virizion. And we are finally here in Opelucid City. Since we are playing White 2, the city has a very historical look to it, while in Black, the city is futuristic. It's nice to see 2 different versions of the same city. I heal at the center, go to Route 9, and enter the Shopping Mall 9. Today's Vitamin of the Day is Calcium. I need tons of Calcium to boost my special attack for the Elite Four and Champion battles, so I buy 5 of them since I only have room for that many. And with Zoroark boosted on some healthy vitamins, I go into the gym, do a cool fighting dragon puzzle, and I end up resetting on one of the gym leaders thanks to rough skin, and and I just couldn't black out since I technically won the fight. So I have to go all the way back to the village bridge, which just sucks so much. That's a lesson learned for this game. Save literally every 5 minutes. You never know when a random ass trainer just pulls an Uno reverse card on you. When I get back to the gym, I take on Drayden, the dragon type gym leader. His first Pokemon is Druddigon. I use Hone Claws and then Night Slash, but it somehow lives and it takes me out. On the second attempt, I try with the black glasses equipped, and with this item, the Druddigon is a one-hit KO. Good thing his Druddigon in this game does not have rough skin like it did in black version. I teach the move Nasty Plot over Dig, and then Haxorus defeats me with X-Scissor for yet another reset. Really? On attempt number 3, I move on to Haxorus with 2 Hone Claws set up instead of 1, which is enough to one-hit kill the Haxorus luckily, and his following Altaria and Flygon are not threatening at all. So it's time to get our Legend Badge, which should not have been that hard. I just need to save more often. After witnessing Team Plasma freezing the entire city, we take on a bunch of grunts, Zinzolin, the Shadow Triad, and they make off with the DNA splicers needed to fuse Kyurem with Reshiram or Zekrom. We need to chase Team Plasma down, so I fly to Undella Town, go through the Undella Tube, which is an underwater bridge, which looks honestly pretty cool, and I arrive in Humalio City. I hope I am saying that right. Hugh tells me to face the gym first before hunting for Team Plasma, so I find Marlin in the water swimming around, and I enter the gym to get my last badge from Marlin, the water-type gym leader. His first Pokemon is Wailord. I used 1 Hone Claws, it hits me with Scald, which burns me, so I just reset right away. On attempt number 2, I set up a Hone Claws, get hit with Scald, and take out Wailord with Night Slash, or at least if it didn't live on a sliver of health. So on the third try, I choose to take out the Wailord right away with 2 Night Slashes, and next is the Mantine. I use 1 Night Slash, but it lives in red health, so okay, it looks like I might need more Hone Claws. On attempt number 4, I use 1 Hone Claws and then Night Slash the Wailord. It lives, but Wailord sets up Rain Dance. While Marlin heals to full, I use my second Hone Claws, so now I can actually one-hit KO the Wailord, along with Mantine. Now is his Caracosta with Sturdy. I am luckily not weak to any of his moves, but even if I was, it just used Shell Smash instead of attacking, so I'm free to take out it and his ace, Jellicent, and I complete the gym challenge with a time of 3 hours, 17 minutes, and 3 seconds. That's not too bad for this game, but we're far from the Elite Four. We have the entire Team Plasma subplot to do. I enter Route 22, get the Colress machine from Colress to awaken sleeping Pokemon, and then I go down to Route 21 and enter the Seaside Cave. While here, I get the blue shard and the rare candy in the bottom floor, and I wake up the sleeping Crustle and board the Plasma Frygate. We have to do the Plasma Frygate in 2 parts in 2 different locations, here and the Giant Chasm. The order you do things depends on the game. In White 2, we have to solve a password to close off a barrier in Part 1, and in Part 2 we have to use teleporters to activate switches. In Black 2, this order is reversed. Anyway, you are supposed to defeat grunts to get hints for the password, but you don't need to do that. You can just defeat 1 grunt to get the Plasma Key, and then the password can only be one of 5 things: 2202, 7707, 9909, Reshiram, or Zekrom, with a capital. So after some guessing, it was 9909. I get past the gate and take on Zinzolin and a grunt in a multi-battle with my rival. This fight can be quite hard, so cue the intro. Good thing my rival has Emboar here, since Fire and Fighting is one of the best types to take on Team Plasma due to the abundance of Ice, Normal, and Dark types they all use. I just have Zoroark spam Night Slash on random Pokemon, while Emboar just does its own thing. After the battle, even though we won, we still get booted from the ship. And now we need to go to the Giant Chasm. But first, I go to Lentimus Town with my 6 blue shards and teach Zoroark Hyper Voice over Return. With our better special attack plus our special attack boosting nature, along with the nasty plot, we're going to be dealing some devastating damage pretty shortly. We're almost at our final moveset for the league, but our last move has to wait until after we finish Team Plasma for good. I get the rare candy on Route 22 and enter the Giant Chasm Crater. The clash of the old and the new happens, and while they're busy, Hugh and I get on the Frygate to do part 2. I have to step on teleporters to find the 4 switches needed to unlock the gate, but this puzzle is super easy. I also get the Max Elixir while I'm here. This will really help for the league to solve any PP issues I come across. Once the gate is unlocked, I defeat Zinzolin yet again. He's just so easy, and we've got 2 boss fights to do. The first one is with the mysterious man from the Castelia sewers, Colrus. Okay, his theme kicks ass. Anyway, his lead Magneton has Sturdy, Thunder Wave, and the Eviolite held item to boost its defense and special defense by 50% since it's not fully evolved. I have Dig retaught to Zoroark over Hone Claws since his Magneton and Magnezone are 4 times weak to ground moves. I go underground turn 1, and I noticed Magneton didn't use Thunder Wave and instead went for Tri Attack, probably because he detected a kill with it since he thought I was a P-Dove. But that's just the illusion effect in action, and when the Magnezone comes out, but since my health is so low from the critical hit Flash Cannon from Magneton, I get a reset. On the next try, where I don't get a critical hit from Magneton, I can take out the Magnezone. Next up is Klinklang. I use Dig on it, but I forgot that it's holding an air balloon, so it's immune to ground moves. Okay, I deserve that death. On the third attempt, I used Night Daze on Klinklang, which I learned via level up. It is my most powerful Dark-type special attack, and even though it only has 95 accuracy, I'll be able to land most of the hits I need to win the battle. We now see the true boss of Team Plasma, which is Ghetsis. He is now even more evil than in the first game since he has not gotten over that loss from when Volcarona kicked his ass. So after we take out the Shadow Triad, Hugh stays behind with the Purloin that is now a Liepard and follows Ghetsis into the cave, where he summons Kyurem and literally tries to kill me, and then a man riding a white dragon saves me. His name is N, and he has his legendary Reshiram. This was actually a good thing for Ghetsis, as he uses Kyurem diffused with Reshiram thanks to the DNA splicers, and becomes White Kyurem. I have to take it out with Zoroark, which is actually quite easy, and as revenge, we now need to defeat Ghetsis. His team is mostly similar to before, and he leads with Cofagrigus. It still has Toxic and Protect, so I need the Pecha Berry equipped that Charon gave us much earlier in the run. Once I'm past Cofagrigus, after setting up a nasty plot, I use Hyper Voice and Night Daze to one-shot his Drapion, Seismitoad, Toxicroak, his Hydreigon, which actually knows frustration and has 0 friendship, which is unique in the whole generation just to that one Pokemon there, as well as his final Electros. Team Plasma is now finished for good, and his Shadow Triad takes away Ghetsis and N flies away. We now head for the Pokemon League, but first on Route 23, I get the rare candy and then the TM for Flamethrower, which is going to be our best way to deal with Steel types, especially when combined with Nasty Plot. I get Waterfall from N, which is not going to help us in the slightest, go through Victory Road, and at the very end, we face our rival Hugh one last time. He only has 4 Pokemon, with the only addition being a Bouffalant. With a nasty plot setup though, no one on his team even stands a chance against me. I enter the Pokemon League, buy some healing items, and I take on the final 5 trainers. Let's do this shit. First up is Chantal. In challenge mode, they all have 1 extra Pokemon, plus they all have competitive held items, such as her Chandelure having a choice scarf. Anyway, with Cofagrigus, it does not have Toxic, so I use 1 nasty plot, and it chooses to attack me with Psychic, which fails, and then after Cofagrigus, the Golurk goes down with a Night Daze, as well as Chandelure, Driftveil, and Banette. Next up is Grimsley. He leads off with Liepard, which he tries to hit me with Night Slash, but it doesn't do that much damage, so I knock it out after 1 nasty plot setup. His following team members are easy to take out with Hyper Voice and Flamethrower for the Bisharp since it's part Steel. That was an easy first try, not gonna lie. Number 3 is Caitlyn. Her Musharna has Hypnosis, which can work on Dark types. I could have had a Chestoberry equipped beforehand, but I didn't think of doing that strat at the time. However, on turn 1, it uses Charge Beam, even since I thought I was a P-Dove, and with my nasty plot in place, I take out her pure Psychic types with Night Daze, and I have Flamethrower for her ace, Metagross. The final Elite Four member, and arguably the hardest, is Marshall. He leads with Throw. I use nasty plot like before, and Throw misses a Rock Tomb on me, and I begin the Flamethrower sweep on his team. However, like in Black 1, his Sock has Sturdy, so it will get a hit on me, but instead of Stone Edge, it has Rock Slide, which is weaker. But instead, it actually goes for Brick Break, which is kind of worse since I'm weak to fighting moves, but I luckily don't get a critical hit and survive the Brick Break. The whole Elite Four section has been pretty easy up to this point, but we still have 1 more trainer, so let's go face the champion of Unova, Iris. I have the leftovers equipped for this fight. Her lead Hydreigon is very terrifying since it has Focus Blast, and I can only survive 1 hit in the low red health. Plus it's holding the Wise Glasses, which makes it even more terrifying. But luckily, due to Illusion, instead of Focus Blast it goes for Dragon Pulse, so I survive quite nicely and take it out with Hyper Voice. I have the leftovers equipped for this fight. Her lead Hydreigon is very terrifying since it has Focus Blast, and I can only survive 1 hit in the low health. But luckily, due to Illusion, instead of Focus Blast it goes for Dragon Pulse, so I survive quite nicely and take it out with Hyper Voice. It also had the Wise Glasses, which boosts special moves by 10%. After her Druddigon is Haxorus. It is holding a Focus Sash, so even with Mold Breaker, you can't take it out in 1 hit. Her Haxorus' most powerful move is Outrage, which will do around 140 damage to me, but instead it goes for Dragon Dance, allowing me to take out the following Aggron, Lapras, and Archeops, allowing me to first try the champion with a final time of 4:36:36 and a game time at the Hall of Fame of 5:47. Despite having a terrible moveset via level up, its access to Hone Claws, Nasty Plot, and some great special attacks via Move Tutor and TM, it was able to completely sweep the Elite Four, despite a ton of trouble in the mid game before Drayden. Normally I would say we're not done yet, but we're done. Since I did this run in challenge mode, which is a step beyond what most other players do, and this game already took longer than most other runs I've done, especially when Charizard's time was literally on par with Wobbuffet, I will not be doing a second round in White 2. However, since I already did round 2 for Zoroark before deciding on that decision, I'll show you all what I did for round 2 anyway. Enjoy it while you can, since I won't be doing it for any other White 2 run. First up, I enter Flockacy Town and take on the former champion of Unova, Alder. He leads off with his Excelgor. I set up a nasty plot on it, and then it uses Focus Blast, dealing over half of my health. And with my +2 special attack, and being 20 levels higher than he is, I take out his Excelgor, Bouffalant, Conkeldurr, Braviary, Escavalier, and Volcarona with ease. The next bonus fight I take on is the battle with the champion of Sinnoh, Cynthia. Her team is different from Black. Instead of Electros and Braviary, she has Togekiss and Glaceon, so this almost matches her Platinum team except for Glaceon. Man, Cynthia has more Pokemon than any other champion in the series, but her Spiritomb lead still has Double Team, so it is easy to set up my 3 nasty plots. And once I'm finally able to land a hit on it, I take out her Spiritomb, Lucario, Togekiss, Glaceon, Milotic, and Garchomp in no time at all. There is still one more thing to show off. It is time for the second round of the Elite Four, which is super hard in White 2. You'll all see why shortly, but first, here are their teams and held items. Just look at it. Their teams could be used in a World Championship, and most likely stand a chance. Well, they don't have any EVs, but still, just give them some and you've got a pretty good team. Well, without further ado, let's do this shit one more time. Chantal, like before, leads with her Cofagrigus. I used one nasty plot followed by 2 more since she kept spamming Psychic like an idiot. Thanks, broken AI. Once I'm past her Cofagrigus, thanks to Night Days, I can one-hit KO her Gengar, Golurk, Frostlass with Flamethrower since I missed a Night Days, Drifblim, and Chandelure in one hit. Oh, I forgot the Choice Scarf. On the next attempt, I arrive back at the Chandelure with my HP too low to survive a Fire Blast. On the third attempt, I survive a non-crit Fire Blast at 38 HP left and Chantal is down. Next up is Grimsley. He leads with Honchkrow this time around, but this shouldn't matter too much as I use one nasty plot and one Hyper Voice takes it out. But I don't know if one nasty plot's going to be enough. And on the Scrafty, I can tell it's not and I get knocked out with a high jump kick. On the next try, I get all the way to his final Pokemon Tyranitar, but I don't have a good move to deal with it. I look back at my moveset, and I realize that I could use Focus Blast, but I really don't want to leave the league to get it. So I hacked all the TMs in my bag, since the run's already over and I just really don't care anymore. With Focus Blast taught over Flamethrower, I forgot to update my overlay again, and I am finally able to take out Grimsley's team. Next up is Caitlyn. Her Musharna uses a Charge Beam on me like before, but it puts me to sleep with Hypnosis. Good news is that it can't use Dream Eater to suck my HP away, so once I am set up enough, I used Night Days on her Musharna. On Alakazam, I used Night Days, but it misses and Alakazam goes for Focus Blast, which would have defeated me, but it luckily misses and I move on to the rest of her team with no more issues at all. Not even with the Metagross because a neutral Night Days does the job. Oh yeah, Steel didn't lose its resistance to Dark and Ghost until Gen 6, so it was neutral. The final Elite Four member is Marshall. I'll just show all the bad attempts. This was by far the hardest Elite Four member I've ever faced in a long time. All of his Pokemon have a super effective move on me, and I can't deal with his Sock since instead of Brick Break, it uses Close Combat. I even went all the way to level 100, and due to its low defense stat, it still knocks me out. Now is the time for Double Team. I teach it over Night Days, equip the Silk Scarf, finally update Focus Blast on the overlay, and on the throw, the plan is to set up 3 double teams and 1 nasty plot, and then sweep. Then when his Sock comes out, I have to get a miss to proceed. This takes quite a while, as you can tell by my attempt counter, but once I'm finally past Marshall, let us face the champion one last time. Her team is mostly the same as before. Her lead is still the Wise Glasses bearing Hydreigon with Focus Blast, but like before, due to illusion making her think I'm something else, Hydreigon doesn't go for Focus Blast and goes for Fire Blast instead as I use a nasty plot. One Focus Blast is enough for the knockout as well as with Aggron. It would have been nicer to have Focus Blast for round 1 like I can in Black, but that doesn't matter. Her Salamence is next. I take that thing out with Hyper Voice, which I did not think it would. Her Lapras is sent out next and I use Focus Blast, but it misses and it puts me to sleep with the most inaccurate move in the game, Sing, at least when I use it. But luckily I wake up quickly and take out the Lapras with Focus Blast, and then on the Haxorus I don't have enough HP for the damage it was going to deal to me, so I reset. When I get back to the Haxorus, I use Hyper Voice, activate the Focus Sash, it goes for Outrage, and I unfortunately die again. Come on, I just need more health than that. I come back to the fight 46 resets in, I have plenty of health to tank an Outrage, and with Haxorus down, there is just Archeops left. All of my moves it resists, so I decide to go for Hyper Voice, since I was out of Focus Blast. It does over half, and it goes for Stone Edge. I almost shit a brick when I saw this, but Stone Edge does very little to me and I lived. This was because of its ability Defeatist. At under half health, its attacking stats are cut in half. So with that awful ability deactivated, Zoroark has defeated round 2 of the Pokemon League. While I won't be doing round 2 anymore in White 2, it was still fun to narrate the whole experience, especially since all of the Elite Four have held items. But for all my future White 2 runs, they'll be in challenge mode only, and I can't wait to do more of them, although they'll probably be less often due to how long they are. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. The next game I'm introducing to this series is Pokemon Sapphire. We'll be doing the game live with Charizard like before, and our main Pokemon to start with will be Metagross. Then after Sapphire, we only have Heart Gold and Pearl left, and then we'll have all of our new games introduced. Plus, pretty soon, I will be doing these Pokemon World Tournament live streams, where we go through all of the regional gym leader tournaments with the goal of defeating the champions bracket, and all of the Pokemon we've done in past challenge runs. Those will be a lot of fun to do, and I can't wait to do them. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you want to help out or support the channel, you can join my Discord server or you can contribute to me on Patreon. Links are in the description. Below, I will also be setting up channel memberships pretty soon, so if you see that join button, feel free to join if you don't have a Patreon. Anyway, if you don't want to do any of that, likes and subscriptions are good enough for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next speedrun.